Akwai. My name is Madeline Sayet. I'm a citizen of the Mohegan Tribe in Connecticut. I am a community member with the American Indian Community House, and I'm also the executive director of the Yale Indigenous Performing Arts Program. And I'm here as part of your weekly update. And I just wanted to let you know that in the next few weeks, all AICH community members are welcome to participate in a couple programs we have going on at the Yale Indigenous Performing Arts Program. We have two free playwriting workshops open to Native writers of all ages and experience levels, one taught by Vera Starbard and one taught by Tara Moses. And we also have a monologue competition for Native youth under the age of 25, where the winners receive $100 and the opportunity to have their work performed by a professional Native actor. So definitely check out those opportunities at yipept.yale.edu.
My name is Wolfen de Castro. My tribes are the Aztecs, the Huastecs, and the Mayas. I'm a community member of the community house also. And I'm working on an album of love songs, torch songs, featuring lyrical vocals and very raucous guitar work. A call to fall in love and go to war. Are they different? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, thank you all so much for joining the American Indian Community House on this hot day. With scorching temperatures across Turtle Island, I hope you are all staying cool and hydrated. Much of the country is experiencing record-breaking temperatures and have been in drought warnings for months. So in response to the severe heat, the American Indian Community House is proud to announce our new program partnership with the City of New York. The Community House will be distributing air conditioners to AICH community members who are over the age of 60 and are living in New York City. This week, we will be doing intake for the air conditioner distribution program. For viewers that fit this profile, please drop a comment below if you, a family member, or a friend is interested. We will be rolling out the air conditioner campaign via AICH social media, so stay tuned. Last week also saw the big victory for the federal judge's order that the Dakota Access Pipeline in South Dakota is to be dismantled in 30 days. Awesome news for all of those who are part of the battle, and coming together and in solidarity, our voices are heard. With that said, now is the time to come together to help support the Kaibab Band of Paiute Indians in northern Arizona. A new pipeline is currently in its development phase and poses a threat to the Kaibab Reservation. I will elaborate more about this shortly, but first, the American Indian Community House is grateful for community members and allies like you. Due to your support, we are getting a strong presence on our YouTube channel. If you have not already subscribed to the AICH YouTube channel, it would be much appreciated if you did. Your involvement helps ensure our visibility continues and decreases systematic attempts of erasure in society today. The Kaibab Band of Paiute Indians, whose territory and reservation is located in northern Arizona and bordering the state of Utah, are fighting developers over the proposed Lake Powell pipeline. The Lake Powell pipeline is intended to divert water away from the Colorado River, as well as Lake Powell, and have that water source transfer to southwestern Utah, specifically Washington County. The potentially disastrous pipeline is planned to be built through the Kaibab Band of Paiute Indians reservation. Additionally, a second proposed location for the pipeline would run along the southern border of the reservation. The Kaibab tribe opposes both routes. The Kaibab tribe has called this region of the Grand Canyon home for millennia. They know the challenges of living with droughts and, like most people in the region, conserve water. The Colorado River's water levels have declined over the years due to consecutive years of droughts in the Southwest. The river's water is the source of life for several Southwestern tribal nations. The Colorado River currently is a vulnerable water source. It is alarming how this fragile river will be exploited. The Lake Powell pipeline is intended to serve the Washington County in Utah. Washington County's water consumption is double the national average. Unlike most Southwestern communities and counties which have strict water conservation and environmental laws, the Lake Powell pipeline is a dangerous and unnecessary proposed project. The American Indian Community House is committed to serving the needs of New York City's urban Indian and indigenous populations. Because of our intertribal diversity, the Community House is proactive in supporting our brothers and sisters across Turtle Island. Last Sunday, we discussed the victory of the Washington football team's name and mascot change. a process of petitioning and protesting that took years to achieve. Join us this Tuesday, the 21st, for the Community House's Social Justice Series, focusing on a range of issues across Indian country. Our AICH staff, Tatiana Banali Dene, will host Not Your Mascot this Tuesday. We will be sitting down in community to talk about the Not Your Mascots movement by discussing this big win for Indian country. This includes a discussion about the stereotypes that mascots are tied to and how these are detrimental to Native communities. We will examine how some Native people have organized and mobilized against the mascots. Finally, we plan to discuss what the win means for Native peoples and what direction and actions are needed afterwards.
The Community House has a legacy of promoting Native and Indigenous artists. Last year at our Governor's Island presidency, we had an intertribal exhibition that features the works of Jeremy Dennis. Jeremy Dennis Shinnecock is an exceptional contemporary photographer and Community House member. Our AICH staff, Monica Buckle, Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, says, "We are so fortunate to work with Jeremy. Jeremy holds MFA from Penn State. His works are in permanent museum collections and have recently been featured in the New York Times. Jeremy is the founder and photographer of On This Site, Indigenous Long Island. On This Site is a photography project intended to preserve and create awareness of culturally significant Native American locations on Long Island, New York. This photograph by Jeremy was taken on Monday, August 13th, 2018. Skeleton remains were found during residential construction on Hawthorne Road in Shinnecock Hills. The developers and homeowners contacted the Southampton Town and Suffolk County Police Department, who quickly disturbed the ground further for evidence of recent criminal activity. Along with human remains, a glass bottle from the 17th century contact period was found, indicating a likelihood of the remains being of Native American descent with burial offerings. The Shinnecock Indian Nation arrived on the site soon after with the goal of overlooking the development. Remains are of Native descent. The tribe encourages the town to use its community preservation fund, preserve the lot, and respect the burial. Since this photograph was taken, the research concluded that this site was indeed of an Indian burial, and throughout the Historic Preservation Act, the town of Southampton bought the property from the developer to ensure the burial site would not be disturbed. This photograph is of Apicog, an important site that was once used to harvest cattail flag reeds for wigwam creation, thus receiving the name, a place where flags grow. Today, the pond is known as Lily Pond. On the edge of the water, a much more common reed known as phragmites remains, though this plant is also known as wigwam roof material. Prior to the pandemic, Jeremy was studying at a residency program in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and returned back home to the Shinnecock Reservation, which is located in eastern Long Island. All of the health disparities and economic injustice within the minority communities became clear. During the COVID-19 pandemic and rise of social justice activism against police brutality, bigotry, and systemic racism proved to Jeremy a deep urgency for artists who identify as Black, Indigenous, and/or people of color to have safe spaces for free creativity and healing. Because of Jeremy's call to action, and through generous donations, he is renovating and rehabbing his childhood home, Ma's house. Ma was Jeremy's grandmother, Loretta Silva, also known as Princess Silva Arrow of the Shinnecock Indian Nation. Ma held many powwows with the family and tribal members, dancing and singing in traditional Shinnecock regalia at the house. People from everywhere, even foreign countries, would visit Ma's house and partake in viewing native craft work, handmade beadwork, and eat traditional Indian corn, cooked in the earth, layered under seaweed. Ma always wanted her house to be an educational museum space, a safe haven, and a place where arts and culture bring people together. Jeremy is Ma's youngest grandchild and is determined to uphold her grandmother's wishes. It's a huge financial undertaking to restore Ma's house with limited resources. Jeremy has created a GoFundMe page for those who are able to contribute. He has successfully raised over $16,000, and every bit of that is going into the property's restoration.
COVID-19 cases are increasing at rapid rates across the country, leaving tribal and remote communities at high risk. The Blackfeet Nation of Montana just so happens to share territory with Glacier National Park. The national park is a summer tourist destination. The Blackfeet Nation has closed all eastern entrances to the park for the 2020 tourist season. The eastern entrances directly border the Blackfeet Reservation. Tribal leaders have made a smart decision to limit tourists coming and going through the Blackfeet Reservation and park. Their decision will help ensure the health and safety of their community members. Glacier National Park is still open to the public and can be accessed through several other park entrances. Our First Nations relatives in British Columbia have made a similar move amid the COVID-19 fears. 10 coastal First Nations communities in British Columbia have joined together and announced this week that anyone who is a tourist and non-resident will be turned away from entering the reserves. During the summer months, coastal British Columbia sees a surge in tourism, which is a beneficial economic impact on the reserves. However, the COVID-19 risks are so great that nation leaders came together to agree on restricting access to their territories in a bid to protect those whom they serve.
Mississauga Nation, which is located in southern Ontario, just announced that the nation is launching a three-pronged online initiative in partnership with 6 other First Nations in Ontario to help revitalize culture and language within the community. The online service resulted in a series of surveys that were conducted within each First Nation to determine what aspects were most important to community members. A virtual workshop series will feature interactive group experiences that will range in topics from historical storytelling to traditional arts like moccasin and basket making. Check out the Mississauga Nation's website for further information on the program.
Governor's Island is open to the public. Come visit the Community House Garden in partnership with the Earth Matters Soil Start Farm. There is daily ferry service from downtown Manhattan and Brooklyn to the island. This year, all ferry tickets need to be booked in advance online at govisland.com. Bring your bike aboard the ferry and cruise on by to Community House's curated Garden of Skana for the Agricultural Heritage Project. The past several months have been challenging for our community in New York City. We offer our garden as a means to reconnect and heal. With the concerns of COVID-19 and the ongoing social injustices, we invite you to receive nourishment from Earth Mother and reconnect with our roots.
The Community House has over 50 years of serving LGBTQ Two-Spirits peoples and advocating for indigenous queer rights. We continue our legacy of supporting people living with AIDS, HIV. The Community House serves the needs of our elders living with HIV. Our Healthy Elders Network program, known as HEN, is a network for elders living with HIV, encouraging them to age positively. Our AICH staff and people living with HIV advocate, Tony Enos, Eastern Band of Cherokee, recently published an article on HEN's website. Could not come at a more appropriate time, especially with the extreme heat, about how to safely enjoy the summer months. Here are a few excerpts from Tony's article about water and staying hydrated, and why it is important for people living with HIV. The tempting plethora of tasty, flavored sports drinks and soft drinks are easy to reach for on a warm summer day. While sports drinks can help replace important electrolytes that we lose when we sweat, they may not always be the best choice for people living with HIV. For people living with HIV medications can change how the body manages fluids. Some HIV medication side effects can cause rapid loss of fluids, electrolytes. HIV medications can also have a direct impact on the kidney. Excessive sugar consumption and the added risk of diabetes are just two of the many reasons that water is a better choice than a bottle of Powell Sipper Aid Red Goblin. LOL. Fatigue, foggy mind or irritability, dizziness, nausea, headache, and plain old thirst are all signs of dehydration. While the benefits of drinking water, more water, every day are obvious, there are also other benefits you may not think about, such as the boosting of your metabolism by 30% just by drinking a glass of cold water. Drinking more water also reduces the risk of kidney stones, which is also a concern for anyone taking daily medications. Tony suggests flavoring your own water with fresh fruits. Give it a lovely flavor without the processed sugar. Also, purchasing your own reusable water bottle will help save money and the earth. Stay safe, stay cool, and stay hydrated. Mini Wachoni.
Native Theater Thursday is back this week on Thursday at 8 p.m. on our Facebook Live, and we hope you've been enjoying them. I know I have been. This week's play is Flying Bird's Diary, written by Mohegan tribal historian and medicine woman Melissa Tanaquidgeon-Zobel, and directed by myself. The play is set in 1830s New England, and it's about both Melissa, who happens to be my mother, and myself's ancestor, Flying Bird, also known as Fidelia Fielding. Flying Bird's school teacher beats and expels her for speaking Mohegan and speaking her mind. She draws strength from the traditional story of Wolf Woman, her cousin Henry, who declares her a language warrior, and her Nana Martha, who takes her to meet the Makyawisat, little people of the forest. Thanks to her whaler father's gift of a diary, Flying Bird writes regularly in English and in Mohegan about her life. She chronicles the loss of her tribe's land, language, burial grounds, and festival life. And in her final years, she develops dementia, and her diaries burn at the home of an anthropologist. In the end, Flying Bird passes away without accomplishing her language preservation goal, but the ancestors are always with us, according to Mohegan beliefs, and a miracle paves the way for Flying Bird to see her life's quest accomplished. This play is based on a true story. Flying Bird's Diary was written by my mother, Melissa Tanaquidgeon-Zobel. Melissa is an award-winning screenwriter. She was raised in and still currently lives in Mohegan Territory, where she learned the Mohegan traditions of her people from her great aunt, medicine woman Gladys Tanaquidgeon. Melissa writes novels and screenplays that are informed by her people's stories of the Northeast woodlands and Mohegan philosophy. And the director is myself. I will not read you my bio, but I trust that I have some idea what I'm doing, and hopefully we'll see you at that reading. The cast includes Ty Defoe, Brandon Delsid, Joan Henry, Madeline Hutchins, Matt Langer, Sarah Lise MacArthur, Tanis Parento, Ryan Opolania Tet Pierce, Miles Rowe, Elena Studi, Emily Price, and Kenny Ramos. We hope to see you at this Thursday's reading. AICH has been bringing diverse programming to you at the safety and comfort of your home. Our beloved program, Fit Native TV, is hosted and taught by our AICH staff, Tanis Parento, Métis Nation of Alberta, and we are so lucky to have Tanis's fitness expertise. Besides getting workout lessons from Tanis, you can also see her on the Showtime series Billions. The online fitness classes include a circuit-style strength and cardio class, which I know I need in quarantine, Weekend Warrior Challenge is live. The top 5 natives to collect the most points during each weekend will win fitness equipment, such as yoga mats, water bottles, exercise sliders, and exercise bands. Contact us for details on how to join the challenge so that you can win. Join Tanis on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and RSVP to participate on Zoom or watch it on Facebook Live.
Join us for Two-Spirit and Digiqueer Bingo this coming Friday, July 31st at 7 p.m. A fun evening of games and prizes. Bingo is a Zoom-only event, so please message us to RSVP your place. Previous hosts and bingo callers include Landa Lakes, Prepa Hontas, Claudia Haddad, Tony Enos, Ty Defoe, and Moose. Every Sunday at 12 p.m., the Community House hosts Sacred Spaces, a place for our community to honor elders through these uncertain times. As a community, we will be claiming time to check in with one another, talk about our journeys, catch up with friends, and share insight and good medicine to strengthen our spirits and unity. This event is for AICH community members of all ages. The event is via Zoom only. Please message us to RSVP.
We Indigenous people have experienced erasure for centuries. To ensure we are still counted, please take the 2020 census. Because of COVID-19, nonprofit organizations have been seriously affected by the lack of funding. The American Indian Community House preserves solely on philanthropic funds and by individual donations from allies and supporters like you. Thank you. 2020 Census, Julie Menon, director of NYC Census 2020, told NBC News, "We are fighting for our fair share of over $650 billion a year that the federal government allocates to cities and states across the country. It's funding for our public education, public housing, Medicaid, senior centers, and Head Start programs. So to fill out the census, please visit AICH's website for our 2020 census link that will direct you to the form. It is quick and easy to do, I promise. If you've missed any of our public events, please check them out on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. As you can see here, the YouTube channel features a wide array of kinds of videos from story time to recipes to previous play readings. There's really, you can see so much on here. It's super full of things. We really hope you check it out and experience all that the Community House has been offering through this YouTube channel. With that, that's it for today. We hope to see you again for next week's American Indian Community House Weekly Facebook Live Update.
That's all.